sport normally has an interest in one particular media, but they should all be read together and in connection. Part 2 is, as I said, about it's about public support for sport, but it's also about the economic impact of sport. So that's about the job creating role of sport. Part 3 includes questions which the professional and commercial sport has a big interest in. The specificity of sport, that's the questions about what makes sport different, and that's where sometimes some flexibility is provided with regard to new legislation. But you also have questions like transfers, claims agents, and the protection of minors. But I think that's really for other actors of the sport movement. In part 1, the societal role, we have action points on public health, about overweight and obesity, and the need to support fitness initiatives. Fitness plays a key role in this context. And health-enhancing physical activity, a concept developed by the PART network of the World Health Organization's European region, that is a key concept which we would like to further via a network at EU level, together with the existing HEPA network of the WHO Europe region. That's just one example of one of the thematic sections in part 1 of the white paper. Finally, to give you an idea of what is likely to happen in the next month, I want to show you, next slide, this is slide 12, I want to show you the proposal, the changes foreseen in Article 149 of the treaty as amended by the Lisbon Treaty. We have an article which is already about education, vocation, training and youth, and we're adding sport to it. It says that the Union shall contribute to the promotion of European sporting issues while taking account of the specific nature of sport, its structures based on voluntary activity and its social and educational function. Here you have a very strong reference to sports for all organizations. And the Commission will then have powers to not to harmonize, not to make binding legislation, but to launch certain incentive measures. And that means that we can have a political cooperation at EU level, and we can have a European, an EU sport program. It will still take some time to implement that. First we have, of course, to get the ratification of the treaty by member states, but we know that that is already quite well underway. Organizations like FIFA will be key players in the implementation of this new policy. Next slide, please. It's slide number 14, where you have a couple in their car, hiking out. I'm getting out of breath, just keep my foot on the accelerator. This is the cartoon I've included to underline how much we're interested in health and physical activity. Sport is physical activity, not only competitive sport, but physical activity in various and distribution and other things to public health. I hope it has been a useful, short introduction to you. I guess it's the first time you see such an introduction to the white paper. So I wanted to give you an overview while also highlighting why this white paper is relevant to a sport for all organization like TAFISA. We know that the work of TAFISA is very important, and I would like to wish you a very successful conference in BORDO. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any appropriate new programs
for example, funding programs which might relate to Sport for All activities and initiatives that can be started in Europe over the coming years?
At the moment there is not one dedicated program, although there are funding opportunities. For example, in the public health program, it is possible to get funding for this type of project. But we hope very soon that we can start preparing for a sport program. We will be asked to do so as part of the implementation of the new treaty article. And before we start the program, there would normally be 1 or 2 years with so-called preparatory actions. Preparatory actions are small budgets which are allocated by the European Parliament in order to test the feasibility of certain ideas and concepts. Then we can have for 1 or 2 years a small budget with a small pool of proposals and just a few projects per year, but the organizations that will do such projects will help us to test the project. And that could be something like 2009, 2010, 2011. And then after that, we could imagine a sport program, but that depends, of course, on what the European Parliament will decide to give us, because they, as the legislator, give us budget.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another question? Between your unit, sport unit, and the health unit, because there is a special program promoting in European Union for health for the time being 2008 and 2013. What kind of relation do you have? Do you have any relations about that?
Yes, absolutely. We have a very good cooperation with the Directorate General for Public Health and Consumer Protection, DG Sanko, and they were closely involved in the preparation of our white paper. We published a white paper on sport, and the same year they published a white paper on obesity. And we told them also to remember to write physical activity into the obesity white paper, because obesity is not only a question of nutrition, but also very much a question of lack of physical activity. So we have very close collaboration with them. 2 days ago we had a meeting in an inter-service group on sport. That's a group, those commission services who we worked with when we